The old African proverb, "It takes a village to raise a child," holds the same meaning here. Our community, our children. With us, parents stand along with older, good citizens in our community, often retired, who've joined with Motivate Our Students Texas to have a direct impact on students themselves. Because what's not learned in public school books are things needed by students for a better understanding of the world they now live in. That to mean, those who quit school often endure sadness and ongoing regret, compared to students with knowledge leading them to make better choices affecting the future of their lives, their education, and careers, away from this to the motivation of this. And even this. Being a part of the Most Speaker program allows you, as a classroom speaker, to bring positive encouragement to students from your life experience, your story of important influences in your life affecting choices you made, which are choices they too may someday have to make, especially behaviors you know are necessary to succeed. So students become motivated to choose education leading to a successful life. Will you have to stand and make a speech? No. Then how does it work? Volunteer speakers are scheduled to make a visit to a school and attend a teacher-faculty meeting. There, you and other volunteer speakers are introduced.
They're great people, and they got stories to tell.
Then, meet and greet with school teachers.
Hey, how are you?
Miss Sonia, how are you doing?
You'll sit with at least 2 teachers, exchange basic background information, and it's important to note your background doesn't have to be connected to what is taught in that particular classroom. The purpose of your visit is to encourage students to learn well whatever subject is taught in that classroom, because that knowledge, along with what you are sharing, gives students a vision, seeing their future as successful based on choices they make. Because you already met them, you won't be a stranger to the teacher when you go into the classroom, and you don't have to come up with a speech, because teachers have a list of questions they will ask you to respond to. Questions you will already know, as they were reviewed at the teacher meet and greet.
Where did you grow up? What was it like for you growing up? Where did you go to school? Interesting. The first real question. Was it important to your future that you learned to read and write?
Other questions include, was learning math important, and why? Was it important to be in school every day, and why? Like people in sports, did you understand homework was practice to get better? Could you have that job if you'd have quit school? Did anyone you know become pregnant while in school? What happened to them? Could you have gotten that job, career, if you had a police record?
Speaker comes in, you ask them these simple questions. But let's say there's something that you really want to emphasize to your students and you want the speaker, then you throw that in there yourself, okay?
Following the faculty speaker get-together, the school principal will schedule a time for speakers to again appear at the school. On the next visit, a member of the school staff will be on hand to lead you to a classroom where you will again see the teacher you've already met. You'll be introduced to students, questions to you, then begin. Because you are the older and wiser to students at that time, there are things you will naturally bring up when answering questions because you've lived it during your career. We call them non-academic keys to success, such as being respectful to others, being honest, being on time, take responsibility for your behavior, care about what happens to you.
Just really explain to kids what you do, how you use your brains, how you make a good income, how you really enjoy work, but the thing that enabled you to get there was education and good behavior. And the other thing that we really ask all of our speakers to do is talk about how neat their teachers are.
You will have learned something nice, that something special about the teacher during the meet and greet. The time to bring that something special to students is responding to the last question asked by the teacher. Is there anything else you want to share with students?
This is an impressive person. He grew up on the west side, went to Lanier High School. His dad fixed cars that got in car wrecks. Okay? He's not a doctor's son. He's not a
titan of industry son. He's a regular guy, regular parents. Do you realize he graduated number 29 in his class at Lanier High School out of 450 students? Top 10% right here. Not only did he graduate with distinction, it was also all-city in football.
It becomes a sense of somebody else bragging or talking up to teachers as opposed to me saying, I've done this, I've done that. In all actuality, when you have someone with the credentials in the background, it has a sense of validation, and it has a sense of, you know what, this person really has achieved this.
He's got a master's degree. Do you realize that? You do? Absolutely. He's got a master's degree in counseling. Oh, yeah. He's cool. And I want to tell you something about that. If he were to take his energy and his education and put it out in the business world, how much money do you think he'd make compared to doing what he's doing now? He'd make double. What does that tell you about him as a person? He loves you, kids. Don't get confused. He may discipline you. He may give you homework. He may try to get you to work harder and be better. That is in his heart.
Once he was able to put me up almost in a pedestal and tell the kids this is what I had achieved academically and athletically, I think that relationship was a lot stronger, and it allows me to teach the curriculum a lot easier.
With the education that he has, the experience that he has, the things that he's done in multimedia and presentations, the way he's affecting the thoughts and people in the world around him, including you guys. Put your hands together for that man.
I think that both the speaker and the teacher, if they know a little bit about one another, again, it shows communication. It shows that networking. So when the students are there, they see the interaction. Because sometimes people can have a speaker come in and they know absolutely nothing about each other because somebody just said, well, this person will come talk to your class. And the teacher's like, okay. And the teacher can just fade off in the background, and the speaker now becomes the instructor of the class for that period. And it's just, but when the two have a connection, they can bounce off of each other. They're in the common industry or they have common knowledge, and it just reiterates what the student's learning, their knowledge, or it makes them ask more questions.
So many people would like to do something to help make our society a better place, but what can you do that will have a real impact and won't take too much time? So join us. Be a part of motivating students.